And welcome to another edition of the Seanz Show right here on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Now, a lot of my subscribers, many of my viewers have been, comments, messages, emails, asking me to give my view, my thoughts, my opinion on the fact that frontman Billy Corgan has officially joined TNA. Well, let's get to the report first. Like I said, I know this news broke a few days ago, but many people, since I'm starting to do TNA reviews again, wants my initial thoughts on this, and here it is. Now, Variety.com reported that Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan has officially joined the TNA creative team. It was noted last week that Corgan was recently at TNA headquarters in Nashville, and it appears as if the meeting was to discuss Corgan joining the creative team. Corgan's official title is Senior Producer of Creative and Talent Development, and he had the following to say to Variety. There is a tremendous opportunity to go into really fresh, new directions. There are ways to explore those themes in ways that are productive. Create new stars and show that value-based baby faces, no matter what their background, no matter where they come from, can draw new audiences and inspire people in new ways. Now, listen, I have no problem with this. To tell you the truth, I've done some of my research on Billy Corgan. And, it will be fresh, it will be new, it will be different, and I'm all for that. That's going to, provide a positive momentum booster to TNA. But is TNA really going to let him do what he wants to do? Or is he going to have to work within the system? Is he going to have to go according to what they want? And, they're going to be picking apart and saying, well, this looks good, but we're going to tweak this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Are they going to allow him to be creative? Are they going to allow him these fresh ideas, these innovating concepts? Are they really going to let Billy Corgan grow on his own? And another problem I have with this is, you always hear about the rumors and the gossip about TNA being in financial ruin. You always hear that they're having money troubles. You always hear about certain wrestlers not being paid on time. I mean, look at Taz. He left TNA because of that. Many wrestlers have had payment issues with TNA. Either they weren't getting paid on time, or the payment was late, or they didn't get paid at all. Back checks, checks that bounced. I mean, a variety of different variables goes into the problems that plague TNA as concerns money issues. Now that Hogan left, AJ Styles is gone. The homegrown talent is slowly but surely starting to go away, and you are starting to see the development. You are starting to see new stars come through the ranks, and I'm all for that. But at this time, how can TNA, with their current financial problems, the fact that they're on Destination America, the fact that they're not drawing the kind of numbers they did on Spike TV, the fact that they're not drawing the kind of audiences that they did, the fact that they're not on a wrestling channel, they're not on a wrestling-oriented network, how are they affording frontman Billy Corgan? Do you think he's just going to, $500 a week? No. Vince Russo reportedly was paid, $3,000 a week to be an advisor for that company or something in between those lines. He worked with them in some capacity. And Billy Corgan, I guarantee you, it's going to be pretty stiff of what he wants to get paid and what he wants to bring to the table. So I don't understand how TNA, they talk about financial troubles, they talk about money problems, and how certain wrestlers aren't getting paid on time, and checks are bounced, checks are late, but yet they can afford Billy Corgan. How does this correlate? I'm having a hard time trying to come up with reasoning and how this even makes sense. TNA automatically, they can just find this money. All of a sudden, we ran out of money. We don't have the money. We will pay you back. We promise this. And then all of a sudden, you leave those wrestlers out, but you're going to pay Billy Corgan, and all of a sudden, you have the money now. That's what kind of threw me off about this, and that's really my initial thoughts on this, because I'll tell you the truth, I'm not going to come on here and act like I know the whole history and like I know who Billy Corgan is. Like I said, I did some research on him, and I understand who he is. I understand he is a fan of TNA. I don't think he's a big fan of WWE. I guess he doesn't follow WWE, or maybe he does. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know everything about the guy. I just got a few snippets of details about what he brings to the table. And like I said, I hope that TNA allows him to do what he wants to do, instead of, if they enclose him in this box and, he ain't able to establish himself. And like I said, TNA picks all his ideas apart and they still make it their own. Well, is it really going to be innovating? Is it really going to be fresh in new directions for the company? So TNA needs to definitely take dramatic steps forward instead of taking 2 steps back. TNA needs to refocus. They need to re-energize. and they need to focus on what really matters at the end of the day, and that is reestablishing themselves. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be a rocky road. There's going to be a lot of detours. But hopefully Billy Corgan going to TNA will, provide a fresh perspective, and it will give new insight, and it will make TNA more productive, more provocative. But, only time will tell how TNA will use and utilize Billy Corgan under these circumstances. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I hope he develops a hell of a reputation. We already know his reputation, as being the Smashing Pumpkins frontman. Now can he redevelop himself and redefine the times by being on the TNA creative team? Your comments, your opinions. I just don't understand how they can afford him when other wrestlers aren't getting paid on time. I don't get it. I don't see the logic. Someone try to make this make sense to me. Subscribe to the Seanz View Entertainment channel, The Seanz Show, a product of Seanz View Entertainment. Subscribe.